This weekend, Johnny Walker takes on Zhang MingYang in the main event of UFC Fight Night at Shanghai, and I'm going to go through every single fight on the card and tell you who's going to win these fights. And let's get into it with the first one on the night. Diyar Nurgozhay takes on Uran Satybaldiev in the light heavyweight division. And doesn't Uran Satybaldiev look like a turtle? But his nickname is a gorilla. He thinks he's going to throw me off the scent. Well, I'm not going to buy it, but I will pick you to win this fight over Diyar Nurgozhay, who I don't rate very highly. Just lost to Brenson Ribeiro in his debut, which isn't the worst. Uran Satybaldiev just lost minorly to Martin Bidet. A decision loss, which he took on short notice, upper weight class. He's going back down to 205 against Diyar Nurgozhay, who you might recognize, one of these Kazakhstani guys who can't stop touching at their face every single fight. Why is it just one region has these weird fighters with these weird tics? I'm not going to pick him. He's constantly pouring at his fucking face. Uran Satybaldiev actually has decent striking, and I think he looked good on short notice, upper weight class against Martin Bidet. So I reckon he'll come back down, beat Diyar Nurgozhay, who won't stop touching his face like I just did. All right, off we go. Rongzhu versus Su Yangyu, and I'm going to take Rongzhu to win this one. As you can see, he's got tons of experience, like double the fights that Su Yangyu had. Su Yangyu just had that fight against AJ Cunningham, if you remember. You probably don't, because it was boring as fuck. And it was shit, but he controlled AJ Cunningham on the ground, who's terrible at fighting. Rongzhu lost to Chang Ho Lee, but then beat Quang Lee by KO. And I just like what I see out of Rongzhu. He's got like a dog toughness about him. I think he's just got more dog in him. He's good at wrestling, but he can also get a bit scrappy on the feet. And I think he'll be able to like work his way out of positions and beat Su Yangyu on damage, because Su Yangyu doesn't like to land a lot of damage. One of these like controlling guys. He's got slick grappling, but I'm going to take Rongzhu to out-damage him and win a decision here. Uran wins a decision as well. The next fight, Yizha versus Westin Wilson. The biggest favourite on the card, and I will take Yizha, although I don't fully believe in him here. Westin Wilson's just not a pick that you can make, but I will be having some money on Westin Wilson by submission. He's got a very slick ground game. Yizha just lost minorly to Gabriel Santos in a good scrap. Never stopped trying. He's got a granite chin. And yeah, dog tough, a lot of like energy about him. He's athletic. Yizha's the pick here. He should definitely beat Westin Wilson, but it is worrying. Like, dumb Chinese guy, I feel like he might get caught in a triangle. But he is the pick. I reckon he knocks out Westin Wilson, maybe in round 2 eventually, or round 1. Weston's so bad on the feet. I don't know, but he knocks him out. Yizha by KO. Michel Pereira takes on Kyle Daukaus. Up at middleweight, short notice bout for Kyle Daukaus. Michel was supposed to fight Marco Tullio, who I definitely would have picked, but now the Dark Knight returns, and I will be taking Michel Pereira by first round knockout here. I think this is where he gets back, an Ihor Potieria, an Andre Prochowski, even a Michal Lasacek he finished fast. And wow, Kyle Daukaus has been on quite the run since being cut for losing to fucking Eric Anders, which looks terrible, but it was 3 years ago. Now he's won a lot of fights against no one of any substance, it seems. But yeah, I'm not going to pick him to come in on short notice and beat Michel Pereira, even though Michel Pereira has been looking shit. Maybe Kyle grapples here. Daukaus brothers back. I reckon he gets knocked out. Moving on. Michel, first round. Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. A bit of a layup, I think, this one. Definitely taking Rongzhu here to beat Austin Hubbard. I'm not sure if he eventually knocks him out. You know what? I'll go Rongzhu by knockout eventually in like round 2 or 3, having like a star-making performance where he gets the finish in rounds 2 or 3. Austin Hubbard's bad, very hittable. Rongzhu looked good in his last one against Cody Steele. Keeps up a great pace. Can't be taken down really. Great takedown defense. Great striking. He's got everything, Rongzhu does. And I think he 100% beats Austin Hubbard, who's a decent underdog. But seriously, put Rongzhu in everything. He 100% beats Austin Hubbard. Lona Kavanagh versus Charles Johnson. And you know what? Last week has taught me very many lessons. And I'm just going to be making the smart picks for now on. So I will be taking Charles Johnson here as a slight underdog. I just think this is one that Lona Kavanagh loses at the age of 25. He's been having a couple iffy performances. He's been looking good. But Jose Ochoa beats Jose Ochoa. Felipe Dos Santos gets cut, outdogs him on the grappling. Energy. Charles Johnson, he knows how to win these 3-rounders. Beat Josh Van, beat Sumadaerji, and also lost to Ramazan Temirov, who just popped for roids. Very tough fight for him. I just think he's going to be able to out-volume Lona Kavanagh, keep him honest with like jabs and rangy strikes at range, and win a decision here, 29-28. Lona Kavanagh is sick at fighting, and I do believe in him. And if he can beat Charles Johnson at the age of 25 at 9-0 without really suffering a tough loss, then he is cracked. But I just think this is one that he loses by decision. Charles Johnson's very active, keeps the volume in your face. And although Lona I do believe in, maybe he sparks Charles. That would be insane. This is like he reaches his potential in this fight because he's got wicked hand speed, good boxing. But does he have as good as boxing as Joshua Van did? And Joshua Van was doing well, but eventually got caught. I reckon Charles is going to win a close decision where it's very up for grabs. Some people thought Lona should have got the nod, but Charles maybe opens up a cut, wins this one. I'm going Charles Johnson, and I wasn't until last week. Kind of taught me a lesson. Now I'm just going to go off what should happen and like the smart picks. I'm going to start making the smart picks. So yeah, the headline over the prelims: Maheshate Hayasha versus Gage Young, and I'm going to go Gage Young as a slight favourite. I think he's got the style to beat Maheshate. Very similar matchup to the Quillan Sauerkield, big rangy guy, and Gage Young did very well against Quillan Sauerkield on the Contender Series, knocked out a guy since then, and then lost to Evan Elder on short notice, which you can't hate him for. And Maheshate's been losing to this type of style. This Borshev, Nick Motta. I think Gage Young can keep him honest with the boxing, land good combinations to the body and head. And Maheshate, I think, is too open and hittable. He's been having some bad fights. Knocked out Steve Garcia when he first got here. Steve ran in like an idiot. But yeah, I haven't liked what I've seen out of Maheshate. He's a good dog this weekend. I'm not sure who people will be picking. But I reckon Gage Young, full camp. Liked what I've seen against Quillan Sauerkield. That was a close fight. He's got a granite chin. And I reckon Gage Young wins this one by decision, outlanding Maheshate, winning maybe second and third. Maybe he wins every single round. I'm not sure. But yeah, Gage Young is the pick. I reckon he wins. Moving on to the first fight on the main card. Taiyilake Nueraji versus Kiefer Crosbie. And I'm going to go Kiefer Crosbie in this one. I'm not going to trust the Chinese guy who's 24 years of age. He's been fighting a lot of Chinese guys. Like this guy, look at this. 1-1 this guy is. 8-3, 13-7, 13-4. He fought on the road to UFC, got a brutal KO on elbow, but he runs in very wildly. Kiefer's had problems in the grappling. Jose took him down, submitted him, and then Sam Patterson took him down. I don't know if this 24-year-old guy who runs in and gets scrappy instantly and likes to throw down is going to take down Kiefer. Kiefer's striking is actually good. It's okay. It's not good, but it's okay. I don't think he's going to go 0-3 in the promotion here. I think this is a good bounce back spot for him against a Chinese guy, which I'm not sure why he's on the main card over a guy like Lona Kavanagh versus Charles Johnson. They like something about this Super Saiyan Taiyilake guy, but I think he's going to drop the debut against the Kiefer Crosbie and get outstruck here. Maybe even get knocked out at some point, running in so wildly. Maybe Kiefer knocks him out in the second round. But yeah, I'm taking Kiefer Crosbie as a big dog. I think he maybe this 24-year-old Chinese guy will be good, but not instantly. Maybe I don't think he's going to blitz forward and knock out Kiefer Crosbie, who I think's got a good chin. And yeah, I'm going Kiefer here by knockout as well at some point. All right, moving on to Sumadaerji versus Kevin Borjas. And I was taking Kevin Borjas for the longest time, but I'm a bit worried about this one. But I will stay with Kevin Borjas. He's got wicked hand speed and good boxing. He lost to Alessandro Costa and Joshua Van, who are sick fighters, who I think would both beat Sumadaerji very handedly. Alessandro Costa and Josh Van would. And he had a weird one with Mitch Raposo, a couple losses here. Tim Elliott, he seems weak. And I don't think Kevin Borjas is going to take him down. But I like Kevin Borjas, who's 27. Lost to Van and Alessandro Costa. Now he's back to things. Can keep a good 3-round pace. And I think he could rock Sumadaerji with a big shot here and keep him honest for the rest of the fight. Kevin's got big power in his hands, wicked hand speed, good combinations. Madwerji's really good at the range game and kicks, and he actually looked great against Charles Johnson, but also got rocked. Tim Elliott handled him badly, and the Matt Schnell loss it was like a lightning in the bottle thing, but it was bad. So I'm going to take Kevin Borjas as a slight dog here this weekend by decision, winning the first 2 rounds or some point. Yeah, I reckon he out decisions him. Moving on to the feature fight, Pavlovich versus Waldo, Cortes, Acosta. And I will go Sergei here on the bigger ooh and ah moments. I do think this does go the distance, though. And I can see why Waldo would win. But, you know, with these pitter-patting jabs, Sergei's going to get the more crazy moments and nods from the judges, land the big punches. Spivak was landing good punches on Waldo's face. That was a close fight. I think this will be a slow volume, kind of a bit boring. I do think this might be a little bit boring. And the pick is decision. Sergei wins the first two and maybe Waldo out-jabs him for the third one. But yeah, I don't think Waldo can do what Volkov did. And I think Sergei can do a little bit better than Spivak. Spivak was doing good on the feet. And I don't really rate these guys too heavily, but I just do think Pavlovich gets back in the win column here. I mean, he already has. He beat Rosenstrike. And yeah, I don't think Waldo wins this one. But I'm going decision because Waldo does have a granite chin. And it's not like Pavlovich is just barraging forward looking for the KO. He seems to be a bit technical as well. Went to decision with Volkov, decision with Rosenstrike. I think Rosenstrike's easier to knock out than Waldo. So yeah, I'm going Pavlovich decision, wins the first 2 rounds and gets out-jabbed in the third. All right, co-main event, 5 5-minute rounds. I don't know why this is 5 rounds. The reason I thought they put this at the co-main event, even though I think you ask anyone, they should have this fight over this one. Like, it's more high level. But I thought they knew this was going to be boring. But then they put it for 5 rounds anyways. I don't know why we have to sit through 50 minutes in these main events. Well, this one's only going to go for 5. But I'm definitely going Aljamain Sterling. He's one of my most confident picks on the card. I don't see how Ortega wins this one. I reckon Alja's going to school him on the feet. Outstrike him at will. I doubt this one barely even hits the fucking mat. I think Sterling's going to come out there and try and strike with Ortega and school him. Land way more than him. Kicks at range, body kicks. He's going to be way faster. I think he'll be stronger in grappling exchanges, be able to scramble harder. I think he's got this one everywhere. Wherever this hits the mat, he'll be able to out-scramble Ortega and end up on top. Don't see Ortega subbing Aljo. I don't see Aljo subbing Ortega. That would be crazy. Nor knocking out Ortega, but that would be something as well. Ortega's been getting hurt badly, but I just reckon Aljo's so much faster on the feet. He can outstrike people to a decision. His striking's actually pretty decent. And yeah, I'm very confident that Aljo wins this one across the distance. Ortega looks so slow, so weak, chinny, and just shit. So yeah, very confident Sterling wins this one over 5. Like 50-45's him, I reckon. 50-45's him, maybe 49-46. But yeah, 50-45, Aljamain Sterling wins every round. Like the strike numbers are 27-14, and Aljo's schooling him on the feet. Crazy speed discrepancy and range and kicks as well, and Ortega just looks slow out there. And last but not least, the main event pick, and absolutely I'm going Zhang MingYang to fucking nuke out Johnny Walker in the first round by KO. You're welcome. Should I really talk about that one for too much longer? Like, Johnny Walker loves to get knocked out. Zhang loves to knock people out. 1+1. I think Zhang knocks him out. I'll make an individual prediction because I think it'll be funny. Like, because obviously I've been doing so shit with those videos that either the law, maybe the curse is that bad that I really can't get a fight right, or it'll be funny that such a blatant obvious pick, but I'm making a video trying to like tell people something they obviously would already know. But yeah, I reckon Zhang baptizes Johnny in the first. Not really worried about it, but it is scary. It is a little bit scary. Johnny's obviously always got that chance. But it's not even like he's going out there throwing wiry, spitting elbows and spitting this and knees anymore. He's going out there to like jab and stuff. And Zhang does have a weakness to straight punches, but yeah, I reckon he gets inside the pocket, lays out Walker towards the end of the first round because it's such an obvious pick. 3 minutes 43, I'll go. 3 minutes 43 into the first round. So yeah, 1:17 left on the clock. He knocks him out. You're welcome. I'm guessing the minute. That's what I'm going to start doing for Aspinall fights as well. And yeah, that's it. 12 fights on the card, going a couple dogs. And you're welcome for that. How long did the video go for? 15 minutes? Just a quick 15-minute prediction video for you guys. Getting a little bit faster with these ones. I'm feeling good. There's a road to UFC fight as well. Bruna Brazil, Xi Ming. I'm going Bruna Brazil in that one. She wins, and maybe Namjal got 2-man Dembarel. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it. But I'm looking forward to the Road to UFC card, and I'm looking forward to watching this in the afternoon on a Saturday. Never seen before in Australia. Like, after lunchtime, it's time to sit down and watch fights until like deep into Saturday night. This is what you Americans do every week? Fucking insane. I can't wait. So yeah, I'll see you there, and adios amigos, and catch you later.